Wow, guys, we are in the countryside of South Africa. And actually, we're almost in the middle of the country.
In the desert-like Karoo region of the Northern Cape province, nestled along the tranquil banks of the Orange River, lies Orania. Founded in 1991, the settlement was born from a vision to create a haven for Afrikaners, a community seeking to preserve their culture, language, and way of life in a rapidly changing nation. When a group of Afrikaners purchased this land, it was a barren ghost town. No economy, no infrastructure, just desert. But with grit and vision, they turned it around, laying water pipes, planting trees, and transforming it into a vibrant agricultural hub. Today, it's a self-sufficient community with its own schools, businesses, and even currency. But the town continued to spark debates on culture, identity, and what it means to live in modern-day South Africa. So let's dive into Orania and see what makes this place so unique.
Guys, we are in Orania. And meet, this is Joost. Joost, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Joost Strijdom. I'm primarily concerned with the Orania idea, and that is my job.
You know, I read that the land was purchased in 1990, and the first settlements, the first residents started coming in 1991. Is that correct?
Yeah, purchased in 1991 and also moved.
Oh.
The first people moved here in 1991.
Okay.
Yes, we have a very interesting history.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Cape Colony was originally established as a halfway stop for ships going around the Africa route. Back then already there was farmers, our forefathers, who did not want to be under the almost dictatorial authoritarian control of the Dutch government, and they moved away and they became something called free burgers, free citizens, farming and then supplying food. We were always freedom-loving people since that, and after that the war with the British followed, and in all that we always tried to revive our love for freedom, our wishes in that regard.
Can you give us a little tour?
I can do that.
First, Joost showed us some residential construction and the technologies they use.
So what you'll see behind me is a house built of straw bales. So what they do is they make a cement foundation, and then they have iron poles up, and then they put the straw bales. Build the walls of the house with the straw bales. It's cost effective, it's energy effective, it builds very quickly, it's from, you can say, recycled material. It's natural and it lasts very long. Over here we have an interesting brick. Yeah. It's a brick that's created in Orania. It's a big brick, but inside it's empty. You can build very fast with it. We call it maxi stones. You'll see these houses are constructed with it. It's built in Orania, so it's one of our products that we produce here and in order to achieve fast construction. Yeah. Interesting fact about this house, it was constructed by an all-female construction team. Very progressive here in Orania. Yeah. Orania's current population is about 3,000 inhabitants. With the growth rate of between 12 and 15% every year. Something that's interesting is the average age is about 35, and we've got our training institutions, both secondary and tertiary, as well as preschool education, quite big. So you've got a lot of kids in Orania, which is important. We incentivize homeowners to put up solar systems to add to our grid. And we buy it back, so I think we buy back per kilowatt hour about R1.50. The municipality that pays the second best is Cape Town, and they pay 80 cents. So I think we're the municipality in the country that pays the best for people generating electricity, private homeowners. This was constructed by an elderly couple. They were 82 and 83 years old when they started building the house. This is the mentality of the type of person that's willing to relocate here. That's the way of thinking of people who want to live in Orania. Orania is not always the easiest place to live. It's harsh weather and so on, things like that. So to make a reality out of it, you have to be tough as well.
At the time of the visit, they had 160 active construction sites. They have subsidized houses, and they have successful programs allowing people to become first-time homeowners.
I got confused. I went to this local coffee shop and I got rand, right? The South African currency, but I saw other people using other currencies. So what's going on?
Yeah. We will take South African currency, but we do prefer our own. It's illegal in South Africa to compete with the rand, but it's not illegal to create a coupon, back it with rands that you put in the bank, which gains a lot of interest, right? Because it's just lying in the bank, and just do all your business with your own coupon. Secondly, no one is going to put a gun to your head to rob you, because they can't use the oras anywhere else. Outside of Orania.
Outside of your town, yeah.
So if you steal the oras here, you have to use it here, and we are going to catch you very soon, right? Thirdly, that's the advantage of putting all the rands that's backing it in the bank and gaining an interest. Yearly we gain interest. We use that interest as a revenue to develop commerce in Orania. By the Chamber of Commerce, they train entrepreneurs, they empower entrepreneurs and things like that. We had a commercial bank that visited Orania in the 90s. And then ABSA stopped coming to Orania, and we had to make a plan. So one of the elderly guys in town, he said, listen, gents, if you get paid with a check, give it to me. Once a month I will drive with everyone's checks to Hopetown, the closest town. I will cash all the checks and I'll bring back the cash. And suddenly he had a lot of people's money in his hands, and he said, whoa, we need to formalize this. And as grace from above would have it, Uncle Ter Schumann at this stage, an actuary who left a big bank in South Africa, moved to Orania, and the two of them started a credit union to act as a bank. Now the Reserve Bank of South Africa saw this, and they developed new laws to help empower traditional communities, rural areas in South Africa, and they was looking at Orania as a model, and OSK, Orania Savings and Credit, as a cooperative bank started. What does this mean? It means every person with an account at this bank is a shareholder. The people of Orania owns the Bank of Orania, a very unique model. We have liaison with other communities, for example, Xhosa community in the Eastern Cape, traditional community who wants more independence, as well as the Barulong people close to Bloemfontein, all traditional black communities, and they've specifically been looking at the Orania model in general, but specifically at the bank. Right, so this is our safety and security building. They have got a small permanent staff. It's a registered security company. But what they do that makes them very unique is the amount of people in Orania that's willing to volunteer for things is phenomenal. People are involved in the community. So it's people who take time off from their businesses, from their jobs, take leave to train, to serve in safety and security teams, in firefighting teams, in water rescue teams, in medical teams, to support the efforts of what's going on here at Orania Safety and Security Services. We have a medical center, we have got 2 general practitioners, we've got nurses, a blood laboratorium, giving good medical care to our people. We also established this helicopter landing pad if there's critical patients to be flown to big hospitals. To your left, you will see our electric public transport arriving. So that little bus runs on electricity. For 9 rands or 9 ora, it will take you anywhere in the town, and it works also with an app that is locally coded. In our city development plan, we don't want an empty CBD. So part of our development, for example, here we combine, on the bottom half is office space, on the top half is student housing. So what does that mean? It means that there's always people. During the day you have people in the offices, and during night people are sleeping in their accommodation, the students. We don't want to build a big grey city like Johannesburg. We want to build a city that's alive.
When it comes to economy, Orania's focus on agricultural technologies, such as drip and pivot irrigation, has allowed them to cultivate crops like olives, wheat, maize, citrus fruits, macadamia, and pecan nuts successfully. Can you believe they're exporting their pecan nuts all the way to China? The town's solar energy projects have reduced reliance on external power infrastructure.
Hey, my name is Rian Jacobs, the Executive Director of Orasol. Orasol is our community company owned by the residents of Orania. From the beginning, Orania had a dream of independence, and one of them is our energy independence.
And the ultimate goal is to be off the grid. These are long-term investments, you can tell. So to buy and install all of this is 50 million rand.
Today they manufacture and export solar panels, and their 1.25 megawatt solar setup shows Orania's serious commitment to sustainability. I mean, they're really harnessing the power of the sunny Karoo. Beyond that, Orania's economy also thrives on home construction, brick, cement and aluminum production, and even service-based sectors like a local call center. Because Orania embraces a policy of self-reliance, everyone does their own work, avoiding the hiring of outside workers. Yes, they roll up their sleeves and get things done themselves. In Orania, people don't just rant on social media or yell at the news. They sit down and have actual discussions about how to run things. Can you imagine living in a place where your opinion actually matters? Need old age homes? Check. Subsidized housing? Check. Electric public transportation? Check. Recycling? Check. Would you like an Olympic-sized swimming pool? Sure. I mean, compared to most of us just shouting into the void, this feels like real democracy.
Hello guys.
This is Orania's municipal swimming pool. It's something that you will not really see in South Africa anymore. The municipal swimming pools in South Africa has gone to complete destruction. It's actually very sad. We maintain this with our own money. We've recently upgraded the pump system. The nice and blue that you see of the water, we've got nice filtration going on. This is we're very proud of this. You know, it's a place where the people of the community can come and enjoy themselves. Because the people of Orania are hardworking people, the ability to swim here and enjoy yourself is a nice method of relaxation. Now and then we have swimming competitions here. Our water rescue guys for the river, they can come and train here.
1, 2, 3. Wow. Strong, eh?
By the way, the entrance to the pool on Sundays is free because they're a Christian community and they don't do business on Sundays.
You will see that a lot of roads in Orania are still gravel roads. And some of the roads even have potholes in them. And people say, well, what's the difference between Orania's potholes and the ANC government's potholes? I said, there's a big difference. We don't have gravel roads because money was stolen or there was corruption. We have gravel roads because we thought about it to tar it, but we also realized that it's more than 3 to 4 million rand per kilometer to tar the roads, which will not give us any economic return on that investment. It will be nice, but things that will bring economic return on investment is high-speed internet. So now we install in all new construction, all new plots, we install the ability to connect fiber optic cables. So we prioritize things that will grow our economy above things that are cosmetic, like tar roads. So it's fine, people can drive on these gravel roads, we will maintain them and so on. But in the end, we must, in the short term, in the medium term, we must do things that will grow our economy. That's more important. Because of the fact that Orania has got a lot of solar power that we use, it is a very inexpensive way. So you can charge your scooter from solar power, and then you can drive around in the community. If you have a construction business, for example, you can have one team with painters. They can travel around with their painting suppliers, another team with some bags of cement, and people can travel around doing business, going places, but they drive electrically and charge it with solar power. A very, very cheap way to get about. We don't have something that most South African towns have, and that's a township. So there's no one kind of casted out of the community that just comes in for economic reasons, just to be used for work, right? But we also don't have a super rich neighborhood. You will literally see subsidized housing next to very nice houses. It's a very interesting thing. I think Orania is the only town in the country maybe that's got a mixture of subsidized housing and the housing of successful people right next to one another. So because we have a shared goal, there's a connectiveness between people. They sit on the same church benches, they go to the same schools and things like that, which is interesting.
They take sports seriously in Orania.
Every Wednesday, the Orania Athletics Club, they do a 4 kilometer or 8 kilometer time trail, giving athletes from as young as, 4 or 5 years old to up to into their 70s. Sometimes people come to do the 4 or 8 kilometer time trail, to keep up with their fitness, to run with other runners, other joggers, and to enjoy the community. Healthy body hosts a healthy mind.
I've noticed a lot of young guys are so athletic. How often do they visit the gym?
Probably a lot, but also the fact that everyone in Orania works physically hard, So I'm going to hop in there for the photo quickly, and then I'll see you now. So this is our local gym, very active sports culture. There's also personal training, so people preparing for whether that be for races or recently a lady prepared for an Ironman. They have the facilities here to train for that.
Do you consume any alcohol at all?
We let that choice to people. If they want to enjoy a beer or two, definitely. That's not centrally regulated. We as Afrikaners, we can have a good party, and we like dancing and things like that. So actually the gym used to have its own little bar. So
Really?
when people participate here, you can have a beer on tap, sit down there and watch the people.
I probably come to the gym like every second day, not every day. because I eat the days I don't come to the gym. So I'm a student at BKU in Orania, yes. Okay. So I'm studying farming management.
Tell me what you like about this community.
You know, it's quiet. People know each other. All the people, you know, they call it kuier. People kuier. You know, and it's a vibe. It's always a jol. It's always something to do. And if you need, you call someone next to you, so they help you quickly.
Yes. Okay, I'm Anna-Marie.
Nice to meet you. So how often do you come to the gym?
Every day. I work here.
How long have you lived in Orania?
I would say a year and a half, maybe. Yeah, like a year and a half.
You like it here?
Yes, I like it. It's very peaceful, quiet, safe. I mean, sometimes 10 o'clock at night, I can just walk around.
All right.
Women alone.
So there's not really a security issue here?
No. We sleep with our doors open in the night. So
very cool, very cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Do you plan to stay in Orania?
Yeah.
For a long time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's peaceful. I like it here.
I propose a friendly competition between our two guests. So maximum effort pull-ups. And I want fair, clean reps, chin over the bar, all the way down, all the way up.
Okay.
Right, you guys ready? Let's do it. Get on the bar and go. 1. Yo. Let's go, one more.
Well done. Well done, Sluggo.
12.
Are we going with you, or why don't you jump on the back? Why don't you jump on the back?
Okay, we are starting a YouTube channel, but we have Instagram at this moment. The name is the Bratva. We do cool stunts like, you remember the scene in Grown Ups where they went off a tire? We did that a few weeks ago, and we're gonna do also lots of upcoming videos, cool stunts and everything. It's our friend group, and we're gonna do lots of cool stuff. So please come follow us.
Will it have, like, is everybody taking part a little bit?
Yes,
oh,
everybody
okay.
gets
Group.
It's
So
all punishment.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, it's like a group.
All, right?
Yeah, it's like a group of boys, and we just do silly things. And
I'll just throw it in the description. Maybe somebody will want to follow you. Okay?
Yes, thank you very much.
What about crime? Crime? What's that? Orania's crime rates are so low. It's practically crime how safe they are.
So in regards to crime, there's a lot of people who state, yeah, there's no crime in Orania. There's no place on earth with no crime, right? Obviously, no one is perfect. We're not in the heaven. But I think the two distinctions is Orania filters criminals out, people with a history of criminality, bringing down the criminal rate tremendously. And secondly, we don't use our taxpayers' money to keep people locked up if they commit crime in Orania. We just simply banish them from the town. And we have a right to do that. It's been tested, and we have a right to remove someone's right to residency in Orania. Meaning that if you commit a crime here, you steal something, you know, you get asked to leave, and you know, you can go your merry way, but we are not going to use our local levies and taxes to pay to keep criminals in jail. So the South African police knows about the people that commit crime here. There are people who commit crime here, and we try to handle it as good as we can.
It's the kind of place where you can actually sleep with your doors unlocked, something unheard of in most of South Africa. And they can leave their car windows open. Residents of Orania celebrate their own cultural holidays, like Day of the Vow, celebrated on December 16th. It commemorates the 1838 Battle of Blood River, where 464 Afrikaner voetrekkers defeated the Zulu army of 25 to 30,000 soldiers. Many Afrikaners see it as a defining moment in their history, believing that God gave them favor in the battle. We met a group of boys who were making a video practicing the vow of the Battle of Blood River.
Basically, it's like a prayer almost.
Hier staan ons voor die heilige God van hemel en die aarde om 'n gelofte aan hom te doen dat as hy ons beskerm en ons vyand in ons hand sal gee.
Ons die dag en die datum elke jaar as 'n dankdag soos 'n Sabbat tot sy eer sal deurbring.
En dat ons 'n huis sal oprig tot sy eer waar dit hom behaag.
En dat ons ook aan ons kinders sal sê dat hulle met ons daaraan moet deel tot nagedagtenis ook vir die opkomende geslagte.
Dat die eer van sy naam verheerlik word deur die roem en die eer van oorwinning aan hom te gee.
Tell me why you like living in Orania. What do you like about it?
Ek sou definitief sê vir die veiligheid en om by ons eie mense te bly, ons eie volk met ons eie tradisies. Ek sou definitief sê vir die vryheid.
And of course, being a Christian community, they go big for Christmas and Easter with family feasts and church services. Joost took us to Monument Hill, which holds deep cultural and historical significance for Orania.
So we are currently on Monument Hill. Monument Hill is kind of a way that we understand our history and our future simultaneously in one thing. The idea here is that we have a half circle of monuments from our history. Now, you must note, none of these busts that you see here, we bought, none of them, we made none of them. All of them is either refugees, they've been thrown away elsewhere, or they've been donated. We put them up in a half circle behind this figure, so we put them up in a half circle because they are in the past. None of them are alive anymore, none of them play an active role in politics anymore, but it is part of our past. No nation on earth is only good, no nation on earth is only bad. We have good and bad in our history like everyone else. We put them in a half circle behind this one. They cannot see into the future, they cannot see over the edge of the hill, but they are part of our history. However, in the center, front and center, we put this man. It's a young boy, and as you can see, he's rolling up his sleeves. Right, so why does he roll up his sleeves? He rolls up his sleeves to work. We have a saying in Orania, no one is coming to save us. No one is coming here to save us and give us the future that we want to build. We need to build it ourselves, obviously with grace from God, but through our own labor. Own labor, own institutions and own land is the founding principles of Orania, and this guy embodies it. He's getting ready to work, creating his own future. You will also see him on our flag. It's Orania's national symbol. So he can see over the hill. He is the little giant is his name. So he's still small, he's still young, but the potential is gigantic. So he's the little giant. And that is the story of the little giant standing in front of these historical figures. And if people around South Africa go and they attack our monuments, our busts, we say bring it here. Let's put more and more here. We can do more and more half circles. Yeah, if you guys look, you will see that this is the typical Karoo habitat. You will see rocks. It is hard ground, it is hard thorns and bushes, and to tame that, to build in here, to make this green is a very big effort. But we chose this part of the country for us because no one else is living here. It is basically an empty space because it's uninhabitable. People don't necessarily want to live here. It's the most scarcely populated part of South Africa, is the Karoo. So we chose that to become a majority in our own area, to have our own place. We legally bought the ground, the land here, and we bought more farms as we had money. And we want to build a city for 10 to 15,000 people, but we want to build a rural city. We are rural people. We are people of the earth, of the land. So we don't want to build an empty, big, grey Johannesburg CBD or a center of New York. We want to build a city in terms of services and products and things like that, but we want it to be rural and full of nature.
For the night, we stayed at one of the local hotels. It was very inexpensive.
What a peaceful, beautiful place this is, you know. Let's go get some food.
I recommend the spare rib and rump because we Afrikaners, we love our meat, our red meat. So that's 400 grams of pork and then 200 grams of beef.
Well, thank you.
It's nice and cool glasses.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I see you having a good time here.
Yes, always.
What brings you over here?
Well, I'm servicing some customers in the area. I'm in the agricultural game, so it's a little bit dark now, but the wheat is in the harvesting stage, so there's a lot of harvesters running around, so I'm visiting some customers. Yeah, I always stay here. If you're from Joburg, the hustle and bustle and the concrete jungle, this is quite relaxing and soothing, and we call it in Afrikaans pitkos. It's what is it? A seed for thought. Relaxing your mind and all that.
With the lake view?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's actually the river, eh? It's the Vaal River. It's one of our biggest rivers in South Africa. So I'm here for 2 days and then off to the concrete jungle again.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Enjoy your stay in South Africa, eh?
Thank you, thank you. So I was told this is the most Afrikaner dish on the menu. That is a rib and a ribeye steak. They call it rump. It's been a while since I had a steak.
That steak and ribs came to just $11, and beer was $1.6 a bottle. All of that for the price of a parking ticket? What a deal! Well, another day. Good morning, guys.
Okay. Wow, such beauties. And it's 7 in the morning and we're just kind of exploring town. How you doing, horses? I don't want to spook you, okay? Wow. There's more horses, wow.
For breakfast, we went to a local restaurant.
Well, guys, I'm a little bit hungry. Let's go have breakfast. So when I ordered a big cappuccino, I had no idea it was gonna be this big.
It's a real man size.
Yes, look, my fist. It's bigger than that. And I believe this is for me, wow.
Let's see what David has to say about the food.
So what do you think about pap and horse?
Yo, brother, I know it's like in the morning, but I'm telling you, you come to an Afrikaans place like this, you need to have pap and horse on rice, something like that, you know.
Whoa.
And
It looks so good, yeah.
It's really nice, actually.
Goedemorgen, hoe gaat het?
Het gaat goed, en met jou?
By donkey. So it's easy to remember how to say thank you. It's literally by a donkey, which sounds like by a donkey.
Karel Boshoff joined us for some morning coffee. He's the former leader of Orania.
Good morning.
Hey, good
Ready
morning.
for some coffee?
Absolutely, that's the best.
Let's do it.
I'm Karel Boshoff. I live in Orania for the past 30 or so years since we started Orania. In actual fact, my father was a founder member with other people as well of this town of Orania, with a much bigger idea of just being a town. This tries to be an answer to the Afrikaner people who are marginalized within the broader South Africa under present circumstances. Afrikaner's position has become extremely precarious. So we had this concept of concentration. We need to concentrate in an area where the demographic competition is not that large. We are a relatively small people. South Africa has 65 million people. We are less than 2 million. We have been in a very dominant position, and therefore we are not very much loved by many South Africans, historically speaking, for obvious reasons. At this stage, we need to look after ourselves. We need a place to look after ourselves in every way, culturally, linguistically, economically, safety, politics. We need to look after ourselves, and that's a reason why we have established Orania and why we have a big ambition that Orania must grow much bigger than it is at this moment and be an alternative for Afrikaners who are spread not only over all South Africa at the moment, but all over the world.
Now, there's a lot of misconception about Orania, and some people try to present it as whites-only town.
It's a matter of lazy thinking. People come to South Africa where your whole preconception is that of white and black and so on, and then you see a town that's mainly white, and you think, what's going on here? You see 1,000 towns that's only black, but you don't ask yourself what's going on there, because that's the majority of the population. But it's lazy thinking, because it's not a matter just of white and black in South Africa. It's a much more complex matter of cultures, of languages, of finding a way to live. We've been in South Africa for the past 400 years. We try to sustain that, and we try to answer to the question, how do you do that? And you don't do it racially. You do it by defining yourself culturally and cooperate with others. Both those. So we in Orania cooperate with other communities, black and brown and whatever you find. And Orania understands itself as such a cultural community that recognize other cultures and peoples and respect them and go around in a constructive way, establishing relations. Afrikaners are mainly European, not exclusively, but mainly European. We seem sort of white when people look at us, but there's a lot of variation around us. We are culturally defined. We are a community. We interact with others.
How do you see Orania in the next 10 years?
Quite obviously, if you just follow the line of growth at the moment, we are growing fastly. We might be 10,000 people by then, which means a different landscape, a different cityscape, a different economy from the present, a lot of different things from the present. And in 50 years, we might be a city of 350,000 people. We might have other similar towns to the present Orania forming part of a bigger area. I do see in the next 10 years Afrikaners waking up to the idea of concentration and self-responsibility. So it's a very enjoyable old bike. With which I traveled to Namibia, to Windhoek, 3,000 kilometers down and back, a solo trip. It's an extremely enjoyable thing to have.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
What are you up to this morning?
Well, I'm a farmer and he's an insurance broker. And we are insuring the next crop we're going to plant, mealies.
And how's the deal going?
No,
Is he going to redo it?
yeah, he's going to redo it. We've been doing business for quite a couple of years now. So, yeah.
Good stuff.
Yes.
I hope everything goes well for you. Thank you.
So much.
My name is Leon. I've been in Orania since 2020. I love living here. I mean, we do everything our own, so we're proud of what we do. It's very peaceful, very quiet. There's no problems or any, how can I say, things happening. Obviously, we do have our small little crime maybe sometimes, but not major stuff. And yeah, it's just very peaceful. Everybody knows each other. Everybody greets each other. So it's very, very nice. It's very peaceful.
What makes it a fun place to live? Like, you would say, hey, it's a small town, it's got to be boring. So, is there much stuff to do here?
Unfortunately, at this moment, not really. Obviously, there's a couple of restaurants. We've got the river, the Orange River running past. So either go fishing or you can go kayaking on the river. There's not a lot of other places. We've got a gym as well that you can also do some exercises. But there's a lot of small clubs, like a squash club and that sort of thing, that you can do some sports and that sort of thing. You can do running, hiking. You can also do mountain biking as well. There's a lot of guys coming in with mountain bikes and do the roads and that sort of thing. You can keep yourself busy.
Yeah.
You know, with positive sport and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Perfect. Hi, Mr. Slava. Welcome to Orania Uber. And today I'll be your chauffeur for the day. All right, let's get going then.
That's impressive. Good job. So many things going on. This is awesome. Now you want some coffee, right?
My kids.
How many you have?
Only 2. Going to go.
Good stuff.
Gentleman from the coffee shop, how are you?
Yes. Or yes or no?
I'm here again, still, but now I'm going to the farm and then.
Yeah. What seems to be the most popular drink around here?
So, in Afrikaans, it's the Stasi coffee. So it's condensed milk coffee, and then we also take it with a double shot espresso.
So in the old days, when people were traveling by train, especially here in this area, which is empty, there's not a lot of stops and so on. You would get a station coffee when you stop at the train station, and that is a coffee with condensed milk, nice and sweet, and just lifting the morale a bit, traveling here through the Karoo.
39. Okay, so we got 30, we got 40.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Stasi coffee it is.
Okay, it's very sweet. Condensed milk because.
So I'm from the Orania Chamber of Commerce. In 2021, we launched the Dear Ora, which is the digital Ora. Transactions from peer to peer is free. And then when I sign in, I can use my fingerprint. Over here, I've got all my beneficiaries that I can use to pay. This is my QR code. If I want to receive money, I can go and I can send this to Joost. We can go inside and order a coffee. It's consumer Stasi coffee. Press here and I give the verification to pay. So the app itself was designed and built locally here in Orania, and it's obviously a project of the Orania Chamber of Commerce.
All right, guys, so one of the fun things you can do is drive this electric thing. It's actually custom made here in Orania, okay? So all this on top of this is all custom made. So yeah, this is like country living. There's like a wheat field in the back, and there's like swimming pools. There's so much facilities. I think for kids, it's just a perfect place to grow up. It's completely safe. Whoa. Ah. You can see everything's clean, nice, no rubbish.
We then got invited to visit a farm with horses, and I like horses.
My name is Eric. This is my daughter, Chrissy. We've been in Orania now 10 years, and we moved here for various reasons. Safety, freedom. Freedom is a long going. So yeah, that's what we're here, and we're happy.
Okay, and I've noticed you have some horses.
And
so how many do you have so far?
Oscar.
How many?
I think we have 17 and then one on the way.
It started off with a therapy. It was a therapy. It started with therapy for children. And I think a lot of we've got a lot of not a lot of, but we have broken children in town, like in any other town, any part of the thing. And it's actually amazing to see the outcome after a year or 2 or 3, what happens and stuff. Because the horse doesn't ask you why you're different or why you're down, or why it just absorbs all the energy, and it feeds back good positive energy. And then my daughter Chrissy, she does show jumping. She's doing very well, extremely well. And we're going in December for a show jumping course down to White River. It's a better part of South Africa, the northern part. And we're taking some of the children from the school, from the equestrian school, along with us to give them some better training as well. So it's become a bigger business than what we anticipated. We have a modeling school, then we've got the equestrian school, we got a dog training school, we got a coffee shop. We have a yearly extravaganza, it's like a modeling show, but a bit more on the acting side as well. You know, you can say, give the kids something, but what do you give them? You replace a bad habit with a good habit, and that's what our philosophy is. And it's not a money-making thing. Reward is not always money. Reward is the pleasure and the joy of people that receive it on the other side. That's the way we see it. And when you have a horse, you'll never have money. When you have 18 horses, you'll never, ever, ever have money. So, yeah, it's a lot of business, but it's community-based. We have geese, ducks, chickens. Yeah, it's sort of a sanctuary. We've got turkeys. It's a sanctuary for people from the city. They don't know it anymore. So,
This is Ruach Grace. She is the black beauty of the place. This one, her name is Just Do It because she has a Nike sign on her neck. Very cute.
See, there's the Nike swoosh. So that's where the name comes from, Just Do It. So she's expecting a week or two.
He is quite the pride of the place. Very beautiful. And we just backed him a few months ago. Very exciting to go and have a future with him. Very exciting. He is very naughty, if I can say that.
Chrissy showed me all their 17 horses, each with a unique personality and story. Some were rescues, now thriving with love and care of this family. And then it was my turn to try Papenwurst. The creamy pap balances the bold, spiced flavor of the sausage perfectly, and the rich tomato gravy makes it a hearty, delicious meal. Can I have some more? What are some fun things to do in Orania? Explore the Afrikaner heritage at the Orania Museum. Go fishing or bird watching along the Orange River. Do some sports, play some rugby, go swimming or cycling. If you need to unwind, Orania hotels boast spas where you can relax with massages and pampering treatments. Shop for some locally made crafts, souvenirs, delicious biltong, and freshly baked bread. Zip around town and fields in electric vehicles. You can also take a tour of the community farm and learn how Orania turned its arid land into thriving farmland. And that's what we did.
Tell me about the most common crops in this area.
Sure, over here we are quite fortunate. Got pecan trees, there at the back we've got our own olive trees, maize, cotton, you name it, all the cash crops we've got in the area. And then also if you go a little bit further, about say 120 kilometers from here, then we also have wine, grapes and so on.
It's so amazing, but it takes a lot of hard work. Nothing comes easy, okay? You gotta work hard. Now let me get out of there.
Orania certainly has a knack for stirring the pot when it comes to public opinion. Critics argue it's a predominantly Afrikaner-only enclave that goes against the spirit of a diverse rainbow nation of South Africa. Supporters, however, see it as a model of self-determination, sustainability, and cultural pride, comparing it to communities like the Amish, the Mennonites, indigenous reservations, or as a Russian, I can compare it to the old believers in Russia. The town actively engages in partnerships with other South African communities, including Xhosa, Tswana, and other groups. They have found common ground in agriculture, innovation, cultural preservation, and community banking. It's like they're saying, sure, we're different, but let's get stuff done together. Nelson Mandela visited Orania in 1995. Mandela famously said, "I have come to Orania to say that we are one people, one country, and that we are all South Africans." In 2010, the president of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, visited Orania. He said that he was warmly welcomed and that Orania had interesting ideas and that the Oraniers wanted a place to exercise their culture. So now I want to hear what you guys have to say.